speaking of talking to talk, walk the walk, I mean, we heard from Darby, Sting, and Team Taz once again tonight to really kind of further the feud. And, we talked about it a little bit last week, how Darby really hasn't defended much or his title. And then we find out today that he's going to be defending it next week against Joey Janela. But it's just more for the bigger picture. I think that's just a placeholder just to kind of further the feud with Team Taz and Sting leading up to Revolution. Because, yes, we're still over a month away from that. So we're going to have to keep that build going strong. And it's not going to be easy. But when you have people like Sting and Taz on the mic and that are so powerful, and Ricky Starks looks like an absolute star tonight, as he always has been doing. I mean, just with the sunglasses, the shirt, the chain. And then I like how Taz isn't just taking the mic the whole time. He's letting, passing the baton, passing the mic to Ricky Starks, because he deserves it, because that guy is an absolute star for a reason. Yep. And, he said that you will get hurt playing in the jungle, So he's always powerful. And with someone like Taz kind of coaching him, even though I don't think he needs coaching, the sky's the limit with him. And we dubbed him as a breakout star for 2021. I think a future TNT champ down the line. And it was a powerful, quick promo, but I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see a little bit of Ricky Starks last night with AEW Dark. And, anytime that the waiting room is a segment, your boy SPD is going to be – your boy Crayfish is going to be tuned in on this one. I'm going to keep my eyes on the television when the DMD's on there. Honestly, you could tell even in that segment, a star recognizes a star. Britt Baker and Ricky were feeling each other. They were definitely building each other up, right? And so, to me, yes, we recognize there's a lot of star power in this feud, right? There's a lot of star power between Cage and Starks and Darby and obviously Taz and Sting. They're legends in their own right. They carry that weight and that star power themselves. Mm-hmm. But I think that the internet wrestling community, especially the critics of AEW, tend to latch on to, Sting is going to, Sting's a big deal and you guys are pushing these old talents and all this stuff. Man, when you look at the way that AEW is framing this feud, like you just talked about, right? You got Taz, who is a bona fide legend. And honestly, we hear him on commentary. We hear him on podcasts. You hear him across the board, regardless of where he's at. That man is polished, clearly incredibly intelligent, knowledgeable about the business. He could sell a ketchup popsicle to a dude with white gloves. He's that kind of guy.
An Eskimo snow.
That's right. To me, the fact that he's able to, establish credibility for his crew, but to hand the mic over to the budding superstar, to the young talent in Ricky Starks and let that dude shine, it speaks volumes to what AEW continues to do as far as laying the framework for veterans training and elevating their young stars. We just talked about Jericho and MJF winning that tag team battle royal. That's a perfect example where Jericho is obviously the GOAT, right? He's he's on our Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. And you pair him with someone who's under 25, who's got the mic skills, got the charisma, all that, right? This is another example where you got Sting working with Darby, who has that. You talk about it all the time, dude. Like, Darby has that aura, his creativity and his uniqueness in how he presents his character is unlike most things in the mainstream. And I think that latching him on with a star with Sting adds credibility. It takes away some of the pressure from a Darby on always having to deliver on the mic. It allows Sting to sort of set the tone.
True.
But honestly, walking away from this one, SPD, I don't know about you, but I'm ready already to see Ricky Starks versus Darby one-on-one. I want to see that TNT championship match between those two. I mean, this is an example where AEW just they have so much potential with all these feuds that we could take it in so many different directions. I love what they're doing here with this feud. And I think that if you're watching this show week in, week out, you see that AEW, yes, they're using established star power, but they're doing it to give the rub, and they're doing it to give the attention to the homegrown young talents that they have on the roster. And I think that should not go unnoticed, and that should not be ignored.